the aircraft in 2 batches. 14 in the original delivery were later sold on to Jordan.
It looks very much like Grant is performing his low show today.
By General Dynamics. Roland was at Fort Worth in 1973 with the prototype accidentally becoming airborne a month later during a high-speed taxi trial. The official first flight was in February 1974.
And what a history the F-16 has enjoyed since then. Its victory tally in air-to-air.
From the right now, 450 knots, 500 feet for the slow roll.
Capabilities over time, something closer approaching the newer F-16C and D versions. This year, the 4,500 F-16 was delivered and it's after the Royal Moroccan Air Force.
Belgian contract in the F-16 program was the Traité de Belgique Construction et Politique for SAPTA. F-16 intended for both Belgian and for Danish service. The F-100 engines for the F-16s of all 4 nations in the European consortium were manufactured by the Belgian Belgian company BLE produced the F-16 radar for 3 of those 4 European nations.
Slow-speed pass, 110 knots at 500 feet, and an excellent opportunity here to see the F-16's capabilities at this slower end of the speed range. The fly-by-wire controls really coming into play.
Indeed, look at the high nose-up attitude. He'll be with that 8 or 9 units of alpha. The difference between the angle of attack of the aircraft and the airflow that it's travelling through, as opposed to the angle of attack of the aircraft and straight and level. If you look at the actual nose-up attitude, it's about 15 to 20 degrees nose-up, but in alpha it's only about 8 or 9 degrees of alpha. Lots of power sitting on that computer and pilot doing a lot.
Effort in Afghanistan, as well as the Baltic Air Policing mission, 600 knots.
Joined the Belgian Air Force in 2001. In 2002 he began his pilot training on the Marchetti SF-260 at Bulgashan in class 2001B. He got his wings in 2004 following his basic jet training then on the Alpha jet, and left for Cazaux in France for his advanced jet training on the same aircraft. He began his conversion to the F-16 in 2005 at Kleine Brugge. He joined this squadron 350 in 2006.
Just been cleared to land, obviously a somewhat abbreviated display. Another Belgian Air Force Squadron 1 Squadron. grunt, I think showing all the flair and style of Mitch, his predecessor, and indeed Nicky Artige, the previous display pilot.
Mr. Belgians always do set a very high benchmark with their F-16 displays, and this year's routine is certainly no different to that. Well, the next item was due to be the Royal Navy Historic Flights see-through, but sadly the weather conditions, I think, are not going to allow us to...
Brought 3 J-35J Drakens to Fairford for their only in-service appearance with the Swedish Air Force here. He flew one of the aircraft that came into the static display, and then 2 years later, in 1996, at the first Royal International Air Caboose, Fredrik was part of Team 60, the Swedish Air Force aerobatic team on the Saab SK-60 jet trainer, and that year they won the Sir Douglas Bader Trophy, the best overall flying demonstration, so Fredrik is a RIAT award winner.
And this display we saw yesterday is to use them again. So this is certainly, and I think with smoke winders, as well as with the Belgian F-16, a very spectacular routine for us here from the Saab Jas 39C Griffon.
Griffon has been cleared for runway